Hello Taurus, Ali from Indigo Ascension. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, please do go ahead and check out the description box below where you're going to find a little bit more information on the work that I do as an intuitive, don't mind my cat, come on darling, intuitive energy healer and reader on my Facebook page, my Instagram page and my website address. Now, on the YouTube channel, you're going to see in-depth fortnightly and monthly readings for empaths, intuitives, and sensitives for all of the zodiacs. Unique and only on Instagram, you're going to see the quick reads, okay? So they are brief videos. They're like 5-minute energy quick reads to give you a heads up on the potential energies that may be crossing your path for the week. However, on the YouTube channel, it goes a little bit more in depth. You'll notice that the readings are all at least 30 minutes long. So they are intending to activate that higher consciousness integration. They are intending to integrate your deeper wisdom as an empath, as a sensitive, as an intuitive. As many of us know, those that have been on the awakening journey or path know that it's one thing to have higher consciousness concepts, beliefs, and ideals. It's quite the other to integrate that into the everyday reality that we find ourselves in, and perhaps that is the greatest challenge of embodiment. But we always have the opportunity to awaken, to ascend out of old paradigms, to grow, to heal, to release, okay, and to level up into that next version of ourselves. And that's probably the most practical way in which to integrate and walk this soul path, yeah? Okay, doing something a little bit different. If you are a returning viewer, this July Practically Soulful reading will be about the crossroads. It's an energy check-in on the year that has been, taking a look at where we are to see how far we have come when it comes to our original intentions, our conscious intentions of what we wanted this year to be, okay? So the first row of the tarot will represent your conscious intention, perhaps, for the Taurians that I am connecting into. And then I'll look at the deeper intentions of soul and spirit that is at work, your higher self, your deeper subconscious drives. And it's interesting to do a comparison to see perhaps where they may mirror, which means that perhaps many of the zodiacs are aligning to their higher consciousness awareness and drives, and where they may be clashing because we're not listening to the wisdom of soul, okay? I also pulled 3 soul cards to give an energetic overview of the themes of the year, and you have honesty, abundance, and health. And we'll look at how the tarot might want to integrate that further for you lovely Taurians. Each video reading, for those that haven't seen my readings before, each video reading will contain a cosmic compass overview, okay? It's a good look at the cosmic planetary influences at play, Taurus, because as above, so below, where we find ourselves coming out of June into July, we have 5 planets in retrograde. This has kicked off in April, and collectively they offer us a theme, okay? So we've got Mercury in retrograde, we've got Saturn in retrograde, Jupiter, we had Venus in retrograde, we've got Pluto in retrograde, all right? I've missed one. Neptune is also in retrograde. Like I said, Venus was in retrograde and it switched places with Neptune as far as timing goes anyway. However, the collective themes of all of the retrogrades are relevant. We are going through the timelines, looking at our beliefs, what was handed to us, the rules and the ways in which we've been told to live, love, connect, how we experience expansion, how we experience connection and intimacy, what was taught to us in childhood, what was taught to us by the religious values, the family values, society's values that were handed to us. And perhaps in this foundational year of 2020, because it reduces into the number 4, we have an opportunity to really embrace the energy of foundations and build new ones based on what we already know about self. As we ascend out of old versions of ourselves, we're wanting to implement ways in which to introduce the new version of ourselves when we're starting to see ourselves in a whole new way, our life, our opportunities, our potential. The more we become aligned with soul, the more less ego plays a part in our life, the less fear takes its hold on us, you know. We become more authentic in our expression of self and truth and whatever the case may be. I do see here many Taurians are integrating this energy of authentic expression, whether that's experienced in our most important relationships or with self. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. There is a great deal of authentic freedom that comes when we honestly express who we are, what our boundaries are, and what our desires are, and not being afraid to do so. It helps us communicate in a whole new way. Look at that throat chakra energy there in the blue, because we're seeing ourselves, our past, our purpose in a whole new way, thanks to that third eye energy chakra there in the purple. We're redefining what abundance means for us, more importantly, when we get raw and real and experience authenticity on every level. From the ground up, this is our base chakra. More importantly, it is a beautiful, healthy shade of that red base chakra, which makes us feel more secure in our foundation, so that we already feel abundant and everything else is just a cherry on the top, Taurus. Many Taurians are redefining their sense of what abundance means for them. They're able to see that abundance is a virtue that we all deserve, okay? Whatever is going on in our lives. And maybe as we ascend out of old beliefs and as we ascend out of old fears, we discover that abundance is more than just something tangible. It is something that can be felt in here. It is love within our heart. It is peace within our mind, Taurus. Knowing that you are a limitless being and you can manifest whatever you desire in your physical reality. Many Taurians I am connecting into are working with this manifestation, this upgrade to third eye. Ultimately upgrades the heart chakra, upgrades the foundation chakra, okay? Because the health card has also showed up. Make no mistake, this is your physical reality, yes, okay? Your physical vessel. Maybe your physical body has in many ways been giving you signs and symbols about what to pay attention to. But this is also, in a very spiritual context, the physical reality, like our ascendant, what we're viewing, okay? When we talk about abundance and when we talk about honesty, when we get raw and real with ourselves about how I feel abundant, how does that then reflect in my physical environment? What am I wishing to bring forth and change within my physical reality? There's a strong creation energy when I see these three cards, Taurus. What are you creating that starts in your thoughts, that is fueled by your base foundation? Like it's at the core of who you are. And our base foundation in its shadow element can be our fears, yes. But it's also the energy in which we ground ourselves from and grow ourselves from, okay? I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Many Taurians are addressing, physical matters, okay? Health. Your health has been calling to you. How do you feel vitality? How is that experience being expressed in your physical body? Do you feel vitality? Do you feel like you have an abundance of energy, of creative energy? Do you, if you got really honest and raw and real with yourself, what can be improved there? More importantly, feeling abundant when it comes to vitality and a zest for life is everything, okay? I do see here this year underneath the deck, so the first layer of tarot represents your conscious goals, okay? As I mentioned earlier, there's 6 of them. There's 3 of these soul cards. 3 is the number of creativity and creating change. 6 tarot represents the number of harmony. So we can engage the energy of creativity and create change, which harmonizes everything, okay? In order to bring harmony into our world, to manifest harmony, we have to invoke the energy of creativity. We have to willfully choose to create change, to bring in that very harmony that we seek. None of us like the feeling of imbalance, indecision, or stress, Taurus. Okay, we all want harmony on some level. So that's the numbers I'm working with. The first row, like I said, represents your conscious desires. Underneath all this, you knew that the year 2020 will be about getting out of this impasse energy, all right? The 2 of Swords is a fear card, yes, but it's not the 8 of Swords, okay? Maybe perhaps the recent new moon or the upcoming new moon in on the 20th of July, okay? We have a final full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn on the 5th, but then on the 20th of July we have a new moon in Cancer. So the new moon cycles from June to July. So in June, we had a new moon in, was it a new moon? Bear with me. Where was my new moon? Solar eclipse. There was a new moon in Cancer in June, guys, along with the solar eclipse as well as solstice. That's right. It was a big one. How could I forget? Maybe that was relevant for you, the 21st, okay? The 21st of June into the 20th of July. That month cycle is going to be relevant in many ways because this energy starts to activate within your awareness about the value of the last 2 years. We are in a transitionary period between ecliptical cycles. We're ending the Cancer Capricorn one, which has been permeating since 2018 to 2020 in June. We are now kicking off the Sagittarius and Gemini ecliptical cycle, which began in June 2020 and concedes in the year 2022. Okay, different energy. It's like a changing of the guard energy. Maybe for many Taurians in the last 2 years, because as a timing card, you were at an impasse about the change you wish to experience, create. When it comes to abundance, when it comes to your health and vitality, your physical experience of life and how you're manifesting this energy, and how you had to get raw and real with yourself and others, okay? And how you also had to address dishonesty in some aspects of your life, okay? Moving out of the Two of Swords, she takes off the blindfold and she sees that she's no longer at a crossroads and she's free to really get up and walk. She's not tied there. So on many levels, it's about getting honest with ourselves about how we keep ourselves feeling stuck through our very fears that we've created. Okay, like I said, it is a fear card, yes, but it's more so an impasse. Like I'm not really feeling the charge of energy to move forward and make some change, Taurus. Okay, but this year, 2020, you knew was going to be about you getting clear, okay, on making some grounded commitments and embracing your own energy with the Knight of Pentacles to really move things forward. Make a wow, God, look at that, 2 aces. Really create something new. Embrace the energy of new because you needed to get clear. This is the truth. Okay, when the Ace of Swords shows up, it's almost like the divine sword of the ethers. Okay, let's take a look and see what these cards want to say. Yep, the Death card, the 9 of Swords, the Sun, the Hierophant. That's you showing up in your highest element, guys. The 5 of Pentacles and the King of Swords. A lot of clarity of mind. You knew this year was going to bring massive endings, deep transformations. And you know what? From 2022, Taurus, you will be leading the ecliptical cycle. That's a big one. And I'm talking well ahead into the future now, but this is about a 5-year plan. In the next 2 years, what you choose to authentically embrace, okay, when it comes to your physical reality and feeling vitality in emotions, in your mental health, in your emotional health, your physical health, your energetic health, watch how much abundance you can create. And you know, if I had have been told before I experienced my ecliptical cycle, if I chose to go on a journey to do some deep healing work, maybe my ecliptical cycle, or more importantly, the year before, it would have been less tumultuous. Okay? You knew this year was going to be deep transformation, about really getting to the heart of anxiety, stress, insomnia, the stuff that made you feel alone and trapped in your thoughts. This is energy that is felt on the thought level, yes, but we're also now experiencing the reflection of that in our physical reality. We've got the headaches, we've got the insomnia, we're experiencing the physical manifestations of stress. Like I said, I'm working with manifestation energy here and how that is sparked in a thought, fueled by emotions. It promotes change through action, whether it's something we say, a decision we make, or hold back, okay? And then it creates a consequence, for better or worse. And the consequence is the result of that action, and it starts to manifest in the physical. Many Taurians are really integrating this wisdom this year about your perception and beliefs around abundance and manifestation. And that can be applied to more than just the financial realms, Taurus. Are we abundant in our love for self, our excitement for path, our connection to the others in life, you know? Have we lovingly released the past and embraced the wisdom it has given us? Do we have an abundance of peace in our mind? You knew you wanted something to end here. It was a deep desire to transform, not only end, but transform your relationship with your thoughts and how they fuel fears within you. You wanted some strong clarity. You were deeply desiring vitality and life force on some level. And more importantly, a strong connection to your higher self. This is you. You are the Hierophant. This is spiritual principles, spiritual truth. Maybe the month of May within your birthday season was relevant. This solar return is significant and you knew it on deeper subconscious levels. Maybe this deep transformation energy was kicking off from last September, okay, into October. Into January, okay? So September, November, October, September, October, November was significant, guys, and January then were key markers, okay? Because it's almost like you set conscious goals for more vitality, clarity, truth, new beginnings, life force. You wanted the sun in your life and more importantly in your heart again. All right, and there's been a lot of Taurians that I'm connecting into that I can see that is through this spiritual path, this spiritual connection to higher principles, your higher self, trusting that you can be fueled by that. Like the sun is life force. If we look at the process of photosynthesis, plants simply need water and the sunlight. You know, they keep things simple. And then they attract and draw in anything that's not good for its environment. It's very community, they're very community orientated. They draw in the negative energy, if you like, and then release it as something positive. There was this transmutation that many Taurians I'm picking up on had to go through. You had to embrace an ending. You had to embrace the death of the old you. It certainly still and will be calling to many Taurians up until September this year, okay? Embrace this ego death, this death of an old reality, and really transmute it into something that is actually of life force to you. Wow. I just felt a massive sigh of relief because you have been integrating losses. You've been getting clear about the wisdom of them. Not only that, you've got some newfound thoughts and beliefs about the path forward. I see in many ways, many Taurians, 1, 2, 3, we're expecting the divine to come in this year. It's going to be because you've got 3 major arcana cards here. You were expecting that this year, you desired this year to be more aligned to your higher self, higher truth. And it's interesting to see how that might be mirrored then in what our higher self wants to say. What I've been finding with many of the zodiacs who are aligning, who are authentically and consciously aligning with their higher self, is that the divine doesn't offer as many major arcana cards, which then tells me that you have all the skills and tools and abilities within yourself. Practically speaking, you've integrated quite a lot. Okay, so let's take a look and see what Soul wants to say. High Priestess, 7 of Swords, the World, the 9 of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. You have shown up in your reading as yourself twice. You have only 2 major arcana cards in the bottom. What your higher self desperately wanted for you to, well, you know, wanted for you lovingly, is for you to have a stronger relationship with your intuition and your intuitive knowing, to bring about an ending that had to happen, an ending to deception, how we're deceiving ourselves, how we handle and hold deceptive energy within us. Okay, because living like this in silence doesn't feel like that, Taurus. Okay, the divine, your higher self, wanted an ending for you, and this was going to be done maybe from February this year. A stronger connection to source, to spirit, to intuition. Okay, this is about following genuine intuitive knowing, to feel our way around deception, because you've got that amplified twice now. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. This relationship, this relationship with honesty plays about in many different ways. The goal is to redefine the throat chakra, to speak our truth, more importantly, to speak our truth when we are receiving energy that feels deceptive, when we're intuitively knowing the truth on some level. How do I walk away from the past and create a whole new world? How am I deceiving myself about not being able to do so? You are already abundant, Taurus, okay? Abundance is your divine birthright. You are a limitless being, as the card says. And you can manifest whatever you desire in your physical reality. I was trying to read backwards and then it's backwards and it started to look like Latin. Okay? Thoughts create things. What thoughts? What would be created if we are in this space? Do we think we would be creating an abundance of peace, harmony, congeniality, joy? All right, and what abundance can we create in this space? These two individuals, look at them as individuals. They feel very different. Yeah? It's like a higher principle here. Like something had to end and close. Like this is 9 and this is 19. Like there's something about 10, okay? So 10 months, 10 years when you were 10. The difference here is 10, okay? And 10 is the number of endings and beginnings. It's also a 0 point. It's the void before a beginning, and maybe many Taurians had to walk that journey on some level. The 0 point field. After the phoenix explodes into fire, there is a 0 point before it rises from the ashes, which is a lull in our journey. It is a silent pause. It's the wisdom that we seek within after the chaos and confusion. And it is through that darkness, that dark chapter, that quiet inactivity, that, you know, we could feel blindfolded like an impasse before we get clear. As clear as the sunlight and sunrise, you know. It's before we can get clear. Many Taurians are coming into the sunlight energy, is what I'm feeling. May was significant for you in order to meet your higher self, meet your higher purposes. Maybe you've been experiencing many activations since May, July, if you like. That's really helping you to close a chapter. All right? The way in which you allowed yourselves to be held back. More importantly, to be held into the role of the wounded healer on some level, some regard. There's a lot of communication here, or at least a desire to communicate, but what the Page of Swords talks about is a watching and waiting. So maybe as the year 2020 rolls on out, many Taurians will be stepping into this not holding back any more energy, okay? There'll be research, there'll be a desire to communicate or at least express self, until you rise into your own self. Like I feel Capricorn season's going to be significant for you, Taurus, because that's the next earth element, okay? For the final, or there's Virgo. There's Virgo in August, September, and then there's December, January. All right, so take that however it resonates. Those are key time markers for many Taurians out there. Okay, I do expect from this September there's going to be like a research energy, whether you're connecting more into your higher self, more into researching this new world, this new path that you're wanting to secure, this new job. There's a 1 to 2 year period here that you're really trying to lock down and commit to, like you're committed for the long haul. And that could be something as simple as I want to save a certain amount by this time next year, okay? There's 1, 2, 3 year story here. It's like there's a balancing, a karmic balancing wants to take place, okay? So that you can really experience like your own divine justice, your own karmic balancing, and get confident with the path that you're on. Look at that, divine partnership. The Sun is here again. The Queen of Wands and the King of Wands and the 9 of Cups. And I said this, maybe you're connecting into a Sagittarius, because I said this to Sagittarius. When is the last time you truly felt happy, Taurus? Like truly. We can rely on others external to us, or we can rely on circumstances external to us to make us happy. But how much, at what point do we have to get raw and real with ourselves? That we are ultimately the master creators of our experience of abundance and vitality. It is safe for you to move forward, and more importantly, to move on, to move towards the sun. To walk into the sun can take quite a lot of spiritual strength, and there's a lot of aspects of your higher self wanting to come forward for you this year. Let me see if I can see any other mirroring. There's 2 nines. There's an ending here. Okay, an old world is ending for you, and then you've got the Justice card here. This is karmic balancing, like karma has been paid, will be paid. It is time to move forward. The energetic balance has happened. There's no more deceiving ourselves about how much we have to hang on to from the past, because ultimately what we do then is just recreate energy. And like I said, we can keep recreating abundance from this energy. And abundance is the truth. We will always keep creating more of what we already have. And if what we have inside is this, then we're going to create more and more of that. Life will begin. And something had to die in that regard. Something had to be put to rest so that we can truly start creating and experiencing abundance that is grown from this. We want more of this energy, yeah? There's a beautiful relationship here. There's an invitation this year for you to really connect into the higher elements of self, to really experience a new sense of vitality, not just from a higher principle and spiritual level, but to bring that down here in your everyday reality, Taurus. This is strong manifestation energy. Make no mistake, you know, we are in strong manifestation energy for all of us, and we can manifest more of what is already inside us. It is the rule of, it is the law of recreation, cellular regeneration. You know, they're always dying, always growing. And if our cells are moving and growing within stress, we're just going to be creating more stress. Being very, very aware of our thought forms, okay, and how they manifest loss, how we're losing our opportunity towards abundance when it comes to the thoughts we have and how they create things, Taurus, is what I want to say here. There's a deep desire to reignite the spark in many different ways, but an ending had to happen. Like there's a closing. Maybe many Taurians I'm connecting into will be seeing a lot of 9s, okay? So whether you see that on number plates or whatever the case may be, but 1, 2, 3 is what I want to say. I keep hearing like it's like this 3-year story. So I don't know what plans you've got set now, but watch how much you can achieve. Like I said, from 2022, guys, you kick off an ecliptical cycle, and it is from when you lead the North Node on an ecliptical cycle for 2 years, so from 2022 into 2024, what you can achieve for yourself, there'll be a very big focus within you guys to create new, focus on the new, focus on the future. So this is very much about ending the old in very deep subconscious ways and introducing a new relationship that you have with your higher self, that you have with your intuition, to help you navigate waters of deceit, whether you attract relationships that are flooded with deceit, okay? Whether there's just been this normalization of not speaking my truth, because what's the point, you know? There's an ending here in regards to all of that, Taurus. And there's an amplification of your role with your higher self, with your spiritual self, with your intuition, and how that opens up a whole new world. Like many Taurians may even be working with their own inner healer so that they can then take others on a healing journey. Like this ending, this could be an ending to, like this could be a whole new pathway, a career pathway, a job. I'm securing myself to create a whole new pathway here. Like I feel strong transition energy, like it's almost transitioning from one relationship to another, from one career to another. But it's about honoring the voice within, so that can even transpire as self-sufficiency as well, Taurus, you know, paid employment to self-employment. Whatever the case may be, there's a strong desire within many Taurians I'm connecting into to really align themselves with their higher self, to trust and be practical with their intuitive guidance. And what it's going to do is ignite the fire again, the life force, the vitality within you. All right, because it's time for a separation. It's time for a separation from old ways of thinking. It is, you know, you might even be dealing with courts, okay, for those that are physically separating or whatever the case may be. This is a karmic contract dropping. Like, if there's been an integration here, Taurus, an integration of wisdoms, and if you haven't done that, you will be doing that, and there's a beautiful opportunity to thoroughly do that so you can drop karmic timelines. Make no mistake, when I see the world and this, it's like two different people, like not two different people, but the old you and the new you. Like, you are in this transition. Like I said, it's the phoenix rising, but she hasn't risen, or he hasn't risen yet. So it's this 0 point field of creation where it's a dimension of thoughts and dreams and ideas about how best to manifest that into my whole new world. Like, I'm not saying you won't be experiencing this year. Many will be starting to manifest, but there is a strong possibility, Taurus, for you to truly manifest something real in the tangible this year, next year, the year after. Like, watch what you can create. There's like confidence and fire and passion and a divine counterpart here. Like, I know this is not your suit, but this is the King and Queen of Swords. They are ruled by fire, okay? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But this is confidence, excitement. This is sensuality, creativity. And if you haven't felt like that about self, if you haven't truly felt happy, 9 of Cups, there's a gift here to be able to really do that, and it happens through really letting go of the old. And that's not just ending old cycles, old connections, it's ending the old within you. The old version of you must be let go, must die, because it's tied to a past that was creating a reality that wasn't sustaining you. When our thoughts keep recreating into something that we don't honestly want, like, we had to get honest with ourselves this year, Taurus, to really ask ourselves about what abundance means for us and where I want that abundance in my life. It's great to say, oh yeah, I'd love a lot of money. You know, many people know that regardless of how much money we have, it takes a lot of goddamn work to experience emotional contentment and abundance, to experience mental health abundance, you know, to have peace of mind, peace of heart. That's a whole new level of abundance. Like, many Taurians I'm connecting into are just really wanting this drop of the old. And so that's an ending of an old world. Karmic timelines are dropping this year for you. You knew this on a conscious level, and you thought you were still wanting to integrate a loss and just get clear in your head, but it goes deeper still, Taurus. It goes so much deeper still. I'm not saying that that's going to take you more work, but it's by saying yes and choosing to heal that, by saying yes and choosing to let go of the old version of you, old timelines, old realities, anything connected to your past, so that you can step fully into this dynamic relationship you have with your higher self first, so that will then mirror in all the connections you have in your life. It's like you had to meet your higher self first before you. And if you've had troubles in relationships, if you've had troubles in connections because of deception, because of feeling lost, because of feeling too much in your head, or not feeling clear in connections with others. Now, the connections don't just happen in romantic connections, they happen in all connections. Did you feel like you had to be alone all the time and remove yourself from connections? You feel safer on your own, outside, okay? There's a reason for all of that, Taurus, and it was because you hadn't met yourself yet. You had to connect and get intimate with your higher self. The part of you that you kept hidden away or you allowed to die had to be reborn, so that this version of you could be let go of. Does that make sense? I'm feeling really cryptic with these July readings, like I'm really interpreting soul messages, and maybe you're having And I've been wanting to do this in all of my readings. I'm connecting it with a lot of individuals in the zodiacs that are probably perhaps even having a lot of dream state activity, okay? So maybe you are dealing with dreams where there's this version of you you're talking to that doesn't look familiar. Maybe he or she is doing a certain job that it's like, oh God, I never even thought I would do that. Or you're suddenly in a house that's somewhere you've never been, but you seem to be quite comfortable and apparently it's your house. Like, these are messages from our subconscious about a new soul, and well, not a new soul, but a new way to experience soul, a new way to look around and see that everything's different. Like, that's what I'm feeling here, Taurus. It's quite a powerful message. There is a massive opportunity this year for you to truly embrace this energy of manifestation and abundance and watch that reflect in your physical reality. You will draw forth the connections that are meant to be in your life. You will draw forth a sense of vitality and strong vitality in your physical vessel, okay? So naturally feeling like you've got more energy, happiness, peace, okay? Once you've gotten raw and real and honest with yourself and truly embraced authenticity. Maybe you already have. Maybe you have already embraced this third eye connection within yourself, that you are really talking with soul and self to really see and speak the truth in many different ways, okay? So that you can experience more abundance in your life and really reframe those foundational chakras. The foundational chakra about building from authenticity so that you can feel abundant regardless. Okay, everything is just a cherry on the top is what I keep hearing and feeling when I see this. It's like, once I get to this sense of peace and deep connection with my higher self, anything outside of that is just a bonus. Like, life will start reflecting back to me in synchronicities and symbolism about me being on the right path. I will feel energy within my body that will tell me that something's out of whack or out of place. And I will address that, you know. Maybe you physically address these imbalances because you go on a new health kick, or you address things that are happening within your physical vessel and, you know, you become gluten-free or whatever the case may be. Like, this is about vitality and manifesting a strong relationship with source and self so that you can then experience that energy reflected in your everyday reality. Okay, my lovely, let's take a look and see what the Oracle of the Unicorns want to say to finish off your reading. Hopefully that gives you some inspiration for the month ahead. Again, it's another deep one. All the zodiacs seem to be doing this subconscious stuff. Later up on the channel in the week, you're going to also see your fortnightly reading, Taurus. But like I said earlier, go ahead and check out the Instagram page where you will see your weekly check-ins. And they're posted... Sorry, Taurus, my camera cut out. As I was saying, go ahead and check out your weekly quick read on Instagram at the link below in the description box. But let's take a look and see what the Oracle of the Unicorns want to say to finish off this reading. Past lives. Look at this relationship that you have with higher self coming into full bloom. Abundance is at the bottom of the decks, love. Look at that. There's something here. Okay? Again, it feels cryptic. It feels like it's going to be unfolding over the next few months. And now, guys, make no mistake, we are smack bang in retrograde season. So that means a lot of this energy won't sort of be permeating again till November, when we experience the Gemini. Where did I see it? In the Word document. Come on. Sorry, you think I'd remember all the ecliptical dates? No. Just because I've done 1,000 email readings doesn't mean it's going to help stir my memory. Okay, Gemini, lunar eclipse in November, all right? Because we're going to be experiencing the Cancer lunar eclipse in Capricorn, the Capricorn lunar eclipse this month. Now, Gemini is, that lunar eclipse is sort of a big gap between July to November, right? So it's going to give us a time to allow this retrograde energy to permeate, Taurus. It's going to allow the wisdom to settle, if you like. But this is very much about you enjoying the bounty of life. Your supply is unlimited. Blessings are coming to you. Really getting raw and real and intimate with your higher self and your connection to source and spirit to truly redefine abundance and bring in abundance that you so rightfully deserve. It's come up twice, okay? And it's connected like past lives. This relationship with your higher self will take you not just back to childhood, but to past lives. Release your past life karma. Remember when I said about the dropping of the karmic lines, like the role you have played, whether you have played the healer, whether you have played whatever, it's about you releasing your attachment to the karma of the past. There's a whole beautiful new beginning, a whole new world is trying to open up to you. That is the presentation and potential for this year. Release your past life karma. You are an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past lives will raise your vibration. So if any Taurians out there are feeling stuck on some level, when it comes to embracing endings, when it comes to why can't I release this past issue, thing, connection, you know, why do I have this fear? Maybe there are wisdom nuggets that can be found in past lives, okay? So it comes down to regression. It comes down to exploring past lives and whatever that might mean for you. But this is very, very true for any of us that are living this life. When the past life card comes up, it's the past as well in this life, okay? There's wisdom there in traveling back, and that's what the retrogrades offer us, so traveling back through the timeline to gain the wisdom, to put to death and to let go of anything that no longer serves us and to truly embrace the new. All right, my lovely Taurians, looks like a deep, soulful month for you when it comes to July. I trust that you have found some resonance in that. If so, please do like, share and subscribe. Let your other empath, intuitive and sensitive friends know where to find the channel so they too may benefit from the zodiac readings. But I will see you again in July for your fortnightly reading soon. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.